This week we had a 5-day video review of SMART goals, SMART, and that's for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And I wanted to summarize in this video. Of course, you can go back and watch them if you wish. I wanted to summarize probably the most important part that I've seen for my own life and my clients. And that is the fact that they make the very kind of intangible, more hopes and wish and dream-based things like wanting to get fit and wanting to lose weight. They really nail them down almost as an instruction manual. And what I mean by that is when I want to lose weight becomes I'm going to drop 10 kilos in 3 months by doing this, this, and this, and then maybe having a monthly review. All of a sudden, it has a deadline, it's specific, it's come to life, you can lay it out in front of you, and you know exactly what to do. And I always refer back to the analogy of a sat-nav. Obviously, there's 3 parts to a journey, and you'll hear me say this a few times because it's so important. There's where you start, there's where you're going, and when both of those exist, you've got a path between A and B. So A and B gives you C. The sat-nav knows where you are, but it actually needs a destination before it can plan any route. And this is why having SMART goals is so important, because if you don't have the specifics nailed down, if it is simply, I want to get fit, a very general statement. Now, don't get me wrong, we know you don't need to order a fridge freezer. We know you want to get fit, so at least you're in the right area. But other than that, there's not much to it. Where do you start? What do you do? What does progress look like? How do you know when you're successful? And how do you know when it's not working to the extent that you therefore need to ask for help? All of these can be what I refer to as roadblocks or barriers. And for someone that is maybe a little bit shy, a little bit burdened, a little bit in a place of helplessness where they've maybe failed this journey multiple times, think of the sat-nav. Let's extend that analogy. When you're sat-nav, when you meet a dead end or a no entry or a road's closed, you don't go home, do you? You divert. It takes a bit longer, but you change course. And that's the beauty of the SMART goals. It's never a straight line. It may well take you longer than expected to get to your destination. But the thing that the SMART goal allows you to do is realize that should you hit a dead end or a mishap or there's a challenge or you're ill or you get injured or life throws something at you, that spanner in the works, and you've got to recalibrate. You've got to have flexibility built into that model. With the SMART system, you are well aware that that is a very real possibility. So what I would advise you to do is list your goals now, be they fitness, business, relationship. And for those that are very general, for example, I want to grow my business. I want to get fit. I want to meet someone special. Run that through the SMART system. Think of it as a car wash. Yeah, you go in and you got the spinnies on the side and the spinny at the top and the spinny at the back and the dresser. You go through stages in a car wash. When you pull a general goal through the SMART system, you make it specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant and relative to you, and it's time bound. And that deadline, guys, that deadline is possibly the second most important thing after it being specific, after you bringing it down from the clouds and actually giving it some form. That time bound element is your deadline. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't meet your deadline. As I mentioned on video 5, if let's say you got to the end of your 10 weeks, you got the end of your 10 kilos of fat loss in 3 months, and you've only done 7. Don't focus on the 3. Focus on the 7. That's the win. As soon as you look at, oh, I failed, I missed out, look at what you did get. You're 70% there. That is progress. That is proof that what you've done works. That's a win. That is absolutely a win. Remember that. And what I would also add there is a thing with time bound. For any of you that have been kind of last minute, you kind of binge revise or study for a course or an exam. For those of you that are last minute, the only reason you are last minute rather than never is because of that deadline. And as soon as your goal has a deadline, you are more likely to start it because there is a sense of urgency. And for me, the big one here is to tie it into something bigger than you. Do an event with friends, do a charity event where, obviously if people have paid you money or sponsored you, you feel a bit obliged to show up and do it. Tie your event to something bigger than you, ideally with people involved, and that is then a triple win situation. You've got your own personal growth, you're giving money to charity, and you will, I guarantee you'll inspire other people because they'll see your journey and think, wow, do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take my goal and I'm going to put it through the SMART system. I'm going to give it some legs. I'm going to make it tangible instead of an ideal that I've never yet approached because I wouldn't know how to. And all of a sudden you start to realize the power of those small steps on a daily basis. And I wish you every success with that journey.